dream of what it is to want to be something when everything else says don't do that. And this center is also the center of so much art and beauty and bounty in our communities that I just want to let you know that for a lifetime achievement, there's a lot of times when it wasn't going to happen, and it didn't look like it would happen. And I do feel bad for the ones that didn't make it, who had great stories, who had great heart, who should be here standing right next to me and aren't here today. The people whose names I mentioned, but others since then. We need to build a world in which young people feel that they have a place in it to reweave it. You know what I mean? To make it theirs. And I remember every step of the way as I got to this point where I've written all these books, there were so many obstacles and so many barriers. And I can't even tell you why I kept going through them all, because people think, well, I'm a very courageous guy, I went through it. I'm not really all that courageous. I will tell you this though, something so compelling inside of me went through everything I could do to tell these stories, to tell these poems, to tell what this life has been and the lives around me. I want to encourage that for anybody, because we live in a world of so much silence and so much painful loss. We don't have enough people getting out there and saying, it's time to speak out, it's time to be real, it's time to change the world, reweave it, redream it, and make it the world that it needs to be. That's what I hope all my works do, and Dear Truth is an example of that. And I just want to end with just one last thing. It's kind of a strange thing because my poor mother was a working class Mexican, Tarahumara Native woman. And she never could sing around the house because I think my dad didn't like her to sing. And she never achieved the kind of amazing intellectual work that I know she was capable of, because she worked in the garment industry in Los Angeles. And she raised us and the kids. And I broke her heart many times. And I mentioned her because I remember one day my uncles came home and they went to the back and they drank a little beer and Mom started singing. Most beautiful song. I never heard her sing before. And I wondered what it was for her to have lost that place of belonging where she could sing. And she couldn't do it except for that one moment I saw her. And it made me think that I could sing. And it made me think that I had to sing for her as well. Never got a chance to be the full woman she could have been. And I will say one thing about my mom. She was a very practical-minded person. She used to pick cotton in South Texas at 9 years old. And at 9 years old, she told me it's time for you to work. And I had to go work. But one of the things she did, and I mention this not in a bad way, she didn't like me being a writer. She thought it was a waste of time. And you know what? I get it. And it's kind of sad. She really was hurt that I was going to be a writer. I worked in steel mills, I worked in construction, I did a lot of work, and she thought, oh my God, now you really lost it. I was in a gang, I was on drugs. That wasn't half as bad as when I told her I was going to be a writer. But years later, before she passed, she did tell me one thing, and that she wouldn't tell my other siblings, but I'm going to tell you now. She said, I had a hard time with you. Me and her fought really hard. She says, but I respected that you did what you believed in, what you wanted to do. And she always supported that. And I want to say, that's what I want to say for anybody. Don't stop that dream. Reweave that world. Make it your world. I believe that everybody has that much goodness and decency so that we can support anybody that wants to be a writer or artist, a dancer, a thinker, whatever it is, that we can make them a world in which they are embraced and loved for who they were meant to be. Thank you all very much.